This is Nell T. Campy, and I'm getting ready to judge our 3 and under halter class. So we're just going to start at the beginning here.
One-year-old paint filly.
Missing a tooth, but that's okay. The bite is correct. Track's pretty straight and is sound. And as I'm looking at these yearlings, I'm looking for balance from front to back. She's a little bit downhill there, but normal. They're growing, and I'm not sure that we're not on the most level ground ever. Hocks maybe come in a little close here. This filly right now, she's growing. It's a little bit more. Let's back her up and take a look at her profile without my head in the way. Hocks, maybe the hind legs come underneath a little bit from the hocks. Could just be how she's set up too. I like to see a little bit cleaner neck where it ties in. Let's just get a little, there we go, a little better picture. Maybe this filly has more hind end than she does front end. So if we divide her body into kind of thirds here, this middle third's a little bit long, and she's got more hip than she does shoulder, but a lot of times when they're growing, they're not going to be perfectly proportioned. I think she's super nice, super cute. Would like to see her neck tie in, maybe a little bit cleaner here, but a very nice yearling. Okay, let's go to our next horse. Yearling. So yearling POA or yearling Appaloosa. When this horse tracks, its hocks are a little close. Profiles pretty well here. Has slightly more balance than the paint filly that we just saw. We can see when it's set up, hocks are just a little bit close. Overall, I really like it. I like the proportions. Could tie in a little cleaner in the neck, very straight here. Set up well, really being presented well, and is super mannerly. So let's just get back to the profile, and then we're going to freeze that. Okay, next we've got, looks like another yearling. Walks up, tracks straight.
This is my yearling filly, Juliet. Here are her teeth.
She's got a good bite. Trots right off. Definitely been handled and is quiet. I can appreciate that in a yearling. And as we can kind of look at the profile here while she's getting set up, this horse has a little longer, cleaner neck than what we saw in the first 2 yearlings. It's growing a bit downhill here. Legs appear to be straight. Got an attractive head. Like to see the neck tie in a little bit better here. Nice hip, little definition there. And these yearlings are growing, so they're all going to be at slightly different stages. I just try to evaluate their overall balance and go from there. Yeah, excellent. I'm just going to go back to a profile here, so we have that for later. Maybe we'll do this side. Okay. Up next, start this at the beginning. We've got a 2 or 3-year-old here, I'm not sure. Definitely looks more mature than the yearlings. So these 2 and 3-year-olds do have a slight advantage on the yearlings. They've had some time to grow up. I like the proportions of this horse. We've got more even thirds to the horse here in shoulder, back, and hip than we did in the yearlings. Some of that is growing, some of it's just the proportions of the horse. Not a ton of muscle or definition. I'd like to see a little bit more forearm, but this is probably a performance horse, so we can evaluate correctness and overall balance. Legs are straight, and it has an attractive balanced build. Standing like a trooper in this wind, that's for sure. All right, we're just going to pause that profile. So far, I do like this 2/3-year-old. It's more balanced than our yearlings that we've seen so far. So right now, we're kind of just rolling right in order. Let's go to the beginning, see what we've got. We've got a 3-year-old here. So if this horse is 3 compared to the 2-year-old we just saw, and the horse we just saw could have been a 3-year-old, I'm not sure. So this horse has quite a bit more, just more hip, more shoulder, has some forearm, tracks straight and is correct. We're seeing more definition in this horse than we have in the previous horses that have come into the class. Especially for a stock type horse, we want to see that. I'd like to see his neck tie in a little bit better here, but I like his chest. And I like how he's proportioned through his body. His legs are straight. He's well presented here. Nice stifling gaskin and hip from the back view. Good angles in his shoulder and his hip. Probably the best we've seen so far for this class. And the other ones are correct. This one's just a little bit better. Let's get a profile of him. There we go. There's that. Okay. Coming up here, got a different breed. We're bringing an Arabian in. Tracking straight. This is a yearling Arabian. So the angles are going to be a little bit different for this breed than they are for a stock horse. Generally, we'll see a little bit flatter croup. Tracks well, good mover, balanced as it travels. Pretty headed. I like where its head and neck tie in. I also like where its neck is set on its body. Quite a bit of quality here. This girl's doing an excellent job presenting this horse, really showing me the best of what this horse has. It's a tenor, it's been handled. I can appreciate that because I can evaluate it better. In their yearlings, they're not going to be statues. That's okay. I like that there. That's a really good angle to view this horse from. So lots of quality here. Profile is really nice. Great amount of expression. Okay, so we're just going to back up to a profile. Okay, and we'll freeze that. All right, now we are moving on.
One. All-Star Pizzazz, Brand McDonald, 3 and under.
Got a 3-year-old horse here. Tracking pretty straight. Okay, just a slight deviation in the pastern. Might turn in slightly, could be the camera angle. Certainly moves correctly. Good profile on this horse, great neck. This horse probably is the best neck of the class so far. I like the forearm. Of a similar style horse to the chestnut gelding that we saw. Straight here. Some definition in the forearm and hip. Good balance. If I divide this horse up into thirds, pretty even. Great shoulder angle and hip angle. Neck ties in good. Gonna look a little closer at these front legs. They appear to be very straight there. Again, very nice horse, lots of balance and quality. Let's freeze him at the profile here. There you go. All right, last horse in our class. There were 8 in this class of 3-year-olds, which is great. 3 and under, excuse me. Here we've got a 2-year-old Frisian. So again, we've got a variety in this halter class. So that's the challenge, right? We've got yearlings, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds. We've got several different breeds. Got a lot of quality here. Good movement. Great expression. Very correct in the way he travels. Looks like he wants to be a show horse. Sets right up there. I like the proportions of this horse a lot. I like where his neck is set on his body. Good shoulder angle, good hip angle. Wants to stand just a little bit forward. Legs are straight. Very straight there and correct. And for this breed, this is exactly what we would be looking for. It's a really high quality individual. Great profile there. Ton of balance, ton of presence. Good in the front end, a little close there. There he takes a step and fixes himself. So let's just go back to a profile of him and then freeze it. Okay. And that's pretty much going to place my class. I'm just going to run through them again. Here in first place, we have this Frisian. I think he's exceptional quality, very, very correct. Ton of presence, shows himself, really nice horse. My paint horse here is in second. I really like this horse too. A lot of balance. These 2 horses, first and second, could go either way. If there were multi-judges, I'm sure they'd be flip-flopped. They're both very good quality individuals and good representatives of their breed. Here I'm putting this Arabian in third. I think it's a yearling, ton of balance for a yearling, really correct. Love the angles of this horse, and she does an outstanding job showing it. My fourth place horse is this horse. I like the definition in this horse and the balance of his shoulder and his hip. I like those angles. I would like his neck to tie in a little bit cleaner in his throat latch, but lots of good here. He beats out this horse just because he's got a little more balance and a little more definition in his muscle. Then we round out the rest of the class with the yearlings. And these horses, these three yearlings, and they're not back here just because they're yearlings. My Arabian yearling was in third place, but sometimes yearlings are in the middle of a growth spurt and they lack a little balance at this time. And this horse here, I really like this yearling, has more hind end than it does front end, and a little bit longer through the middle third. But there is a lot of good here, straight-legged, tracks correctly. This horse here, very comparable to this yearling. I like the neck a little bit better on this one. Is about the only difference, and this horse does travel a little closer in the hocks. Then this paint filly here I've got in 8th place, and I really like her too. I'd like her to have more balance from back to front. We've got more hip than we do shoulder, and I'd like her neck to tie in a little bit, but I'm sure as she grows, she's going to get more proportional. I also didn't think she was quite as straight in her hind legs as the other horses, but still correct, nice, mannerly, been handled. This was an excellent class overall. Thanks for